all. Today I'm going to explain you how to write a simple Verilog code. So we will start from a 1-bit full adder. So so if you have any tool like Xilinx, Vivado or Questasyn, you can write the code there. If you don't have any tool available with you, then you can simply write the code in EDA Playground. Here you can log in with your mail ID. But here you won't be able to synthesize the code. You just have to write the code and check whether it is correct or not. If you are preparing from design point of view, then it will be better if you are downloading some tool that is able to synthesize your code. So we will start with a simple full adder. So Verilog code, it always starts with module and end module. So first module, then module name. So here always give a meaningful name. Meaningful name, so here it is full adder. Okay. These things, it is known as identifier. There are certain rules to write a identifier in Verilog. I will explain this later. So module, full adder. Okay, so this is module, then module name. After that, you have to write the port list. So in a full adder, we have total 5 port, 3 input A, B, C, 2 output, sum and carry. So instead of A, I'll be writing input A, input B, input C, output sum, output carry. So whether here you write simple A, B, C or in A, in B, in C, it is not going to change your code. It is just giving a meaningful name. So that whenever other persons is looking into your code, it will be easy for them to know whether this port is an input port or output port. Okay. Next, you have to write the port direction. So port direction, whether it is input port, whether it is output port, or whether it is in-out port. So input port means you are giving some value to the design. Output means you are taking some value from the design. So here A, B, C, these three are my input port. So input in A, then input in B. You can write like this also, okay, but it will be always better to write one signal per one statement, and after end of each statement give this count. Then input in C. Next, I have to give the port direction for the output port. So next will be output sum, then output okay. So after end of each statement, give this symbol. Okay. So after this, if you have any other signals that is internal to your design, you can declare those signals here. But right now we just have input and output signals. So here next you have to write the design here. So like you have to model your design here. There are 3 types of modeling style: data flow, behavioral, and first will be gate level, data flow, behavioral. So according to your requirement, you can proceed with any type of coding. So here I will be explaining you data flow. So in another video, I will explain you what are these types of coding. So here I will be simply writing the data flow model. So all of we know what is the expression for sum and carry. So data flow means there will be 2 things. You have to use this assign keyword to do some assign. Next, you have to write the code with the help of Boolean expression plus Verilog operators. So as we know, the expression for sum equal to A XOR B XOR C. So here I can write assign output sum equal to input A XOR input B XOR input C. Okay, so this is the inbuilt XOR operator in Verilog. Similarly, for output carry, assign output carry equal to in A and in B. So this is the inbuilt AND operator, or input in A, in B and in C, or in C and in A. So remember this assign keyword, it is known as continuous assignment operator. This assign, as you can see, it is in violet color. That means it is a keyword. Okay, so assign keyword, it is known as continuous assignment operator. Why it is known as continuous assignment operator? Because this operator, it is always active. So always active means as soon as any event happens in RHS. Event happens means the value changes. 0 to 1 or 1 to 0, 0 to X or Z. Okay, so any event happens in RHS, immediately LHS gets updated. You don't wait for anything, immediately it will get updated. So it is known as a continuous assignment operator. And it is used to model a combinational circuit. Why? Because in combinational circuit, as soon as we change the input, output changes. In sequential circuit, it will wait for arrival of clock. After arrival of active edge of clock, then only output will change. But in combinational circuit, immediately output changes. So to model the combinational circuit, we use this assign keyword. Okay. Okay, so this is all your code. Okay, so whatever I'm writing within this symbol, so that is known as a comment. Comment means your compile tool, while doing the compilation, it won't take comment into consideration. You can write anything inside the comment. Okay, compile tool will not consider this. But whatever you are writing without comment, compilation tool will compile it. Okay, so now let's compile these things. So here you can select this tool, then save it. Yeah. Okay, so here there is no error. Let intentionally I am doing some error. This comma I have missed. Okay, so now here you can see syntax error. Okay, so here it is giving syntax error because it is unable to understand what is this thing, because this statement it is not ended yet. So now listen. Okay. So whenever initially you are writing any code, you will make some compilation mistakes. So read those things. Okay, whatever things written here, read them properly, then you will get to know what is your mistake. Now this code, it may be synthesizable, it may not be synthesizable, but remember, whenever I am writing any code in Verilog, it must be synthesizable. Synthesizable means I can design a hardware from it. I can get a netlist from it. Okay, so if I cannot design a hardware from the written code, then there is no point of writing that code. Simple, this code I can write in C language also and run it and check it. So why I am writing in this language? Main point is for synthesis purpose. So it will be better if you are starting page, then write the code in Xilinx or Vivaro. Okay, or any kind of tool that is able to synthesize this code. Okay, so now I have completed my code. So next my aim is to check whether this code is correct or not. So to check this code, we will be writing a test bench for it. So what do I do in a test bench? So this is your design. And this will be a test bench. Okay. So in design, let's take the example of this full adder. I need 3 input, A, B, C. So if manually I am giving you to check a full adder, what you will do? You will give 3 input A, B, C. Then you will get some output. You will compare that output with the truth table, whether you are getting proper output or not. Same thing I am going to do here. So this is my input A, B, C. So here in the test bench, I am going to generate some random values 0, 1, 1, 0 like this. Then I am going to provide those values to A, B, and C. And whatever the values I will get here, sum and carry, I am going to check whether that is correct or not. So to check it, I need a reference logic. Remember, your reference logic, sometimes it is like a code only. Okay, like a Verilog code. But what is the difference between your design and reference logic? Your design, it must be synthesizable. The reference logic, it replicates the behavior of the design, but it is not mandatory that it will be synthesizable. If it is not synthesizable, then also it is okay. If your code is a very large code, then you may need a reference logic. If your code is small code, then within the test bench, you can write a reference logic. Okay, but if your code is long, then you may need a separate module for your reference logic. So here my code is very small, so I will be writing the reference logic inside the test bench only. So in the test bench, and remember in your test bench, you don't have any input or output port. You can see this is your design, DUT, that means design under test. It have input and output, but my test bench don't have any input or output port. So here, module, tool adder, test. Okay, so next I need 5 signals. Okay, 3 signals to connect to input, 2 signals to connect the output. Okay, so remember whatever the signals connected to input, declare those signals as range. There are different kinds of internal signals you can declare like as a range or as a where. This all comes under the data type. I will explain this in the next video. So here remember whatever the input signals you are going to connect to input signals, like this is your test bench. These 3 signals you are going to connect with the input of DUT. You should declare them as range. You should. It is not like you must declare them. You should declare them as a range data type. You can declare them as a where also, but it is easy to generate them if you are declaring them as a range. The input A, range, input B, input C. See, these names need not to be mandatory to be same as this. Okay, these names may be same, may be different. It is not going to affect. Okay, but if it is same, what is the advantage? You don't have to declare so many signals. If it is same, let your design have 15 signals. There will have 15 number of names. So if for each name you are going to write a different name, then 15 plus 15, 30 names you have to think. So to avoid those confusion, it is always like advisable, you can declare them as same. Okay. But even if you declare them different, it is not going to affect the code. Then output Output you can declare as where, and remember output must be of where. Whatever the signals you are connecting to the output. Okay, this signal, this is my test bench signal, this is my duty signal. So whatever I'm connecting to the test bench, to the duty output, that must be of where data type, or you can say net data type. Where output. Okay. So this is must. If you are declaring them by mistake, you are declaring them as range, it is going to give you error. But here you can declare them as range, you can declare them as where. Okay, so now signal declaration completed. Next, I have to connect my test bench signal to my design signal. See, this is my test bench signal. I have defined my test bench signals, input signals and output signals. Next, I have to do this connection from test bench to duty. That connection, it is known as instantiation. Okay. Okay, so instantiation, here I am doing name-wise instantiation. Okay, so for instantiation, first you have to write the design name. So design name is full adder. This is the original name. Then you have to write a dummy name. So here dummy name, I am writing M1. You can write duty, it's up to you. Okay, so now I have to do the connection. Okay. So dot in A is connected to input A, dot in B is connected to input B. Okay, so dot in A means, okay, so my test bench input A signal is connected to the DUT input A signal. Similarly, test bench input B signal is connected to DUT input B signal. Similarly, dot input C is connected to input C, then dot output sum is connected to output sum, then dot output carry is connected to output carry. Okay, so this name, it is mandatory because let you are designing some like 4-bit full adder. So there you have to instances this full adder 4 times. So how tool is going to know how many full adders you are going to instances? So if you are giving this dummy name, so tool will understand that, okay, my full adder, this is my original. So it is like I am making a copy like M1, M2, M3, M4. Okay, so remember this is the original name and this is the instantiation name. So now instantiation is completed. So next connection is done. So next I have to generate some input. Okay, I have to generate some input, give them to my design and collect the output. So next step is generating input. So in the test bench, whatever the things you are doing, you will be doing inside initial, begin, end. Okay, so this kind of modeling style is known as behavioral modeling style, but it is not synthesizable. See, my test bench, I don't need my test bench to be synthesizable. It is for checking purpose only. Design must be synthesizable because I am going to make a hardware from it. But these things need not to be synthesizable. So remember this initial, it is not synthesizable. In your design, you cannot use initial because initial, it is not synthesizable and it will execute only once. So my test bench, I need just once, it will give the values to the input, sorry, to the design. So initial begin. Now input A equal to 0. Next input B equal to 1. Okay, let 0. Next input C equal to 0. So like this, I can write. So here I can give some #1 delay. So 0, 0, 0, 1. Then again #1 delay. Okay, so like this, I can write as many things as I want. So this is one way of writing the things. Okay, so instead of writing, this is like some lengthy way. Okay, you can manually write these things. That is not a big deal. So this is like I'm commenting the whole block. So instead of this, I can write initial begin. So here what I have done, I have concatenated the three inputs. Okay, concatenation operator means initially they were individually one bit, one bit, one bit. So I just combined them and make them a 3-bit signal. Okay. Then some delay. Then input A, comma input B, comma input C equal to input A, input B, input C plus 1. So these things I am going to repeat for 7 times. So repeat 7, that means it is going to repeat the things for 7 times. Then I can give some #1 delay. So why #1 delay? Because once test bench is giving a signal to duty, then after some time it should give the second signal. After some time it should give the third signal. If at a time, if you are not giving any delay, at a time you are generating all the signals and you are giving all the signals, then duty just will take the last signal. It will not consider all the signals. So in the test bench, delay plays very important role. But in your design, delay, it is not synthesizable. You have to use some buffer or some D flip-flop to implement a delay. Directly these things you cannot write inside your design. It is not synthesizable. So how it will work? First it will produce 0, then it will produce 1, then 2, then 3. Now I want to check what are the values it is producing. Okay, so here I can write simple $display statement, or here I can write $monitor. So $monitor, A equal to %LB, B equal to %LB, C equal to %LB, then carry equal to %LB, sum equal to %LB. Okay. So how I'll write this sentence? Okay, so remember whatever the things you are writing in this double quote, okay, it is simple going to print them. It will simply print A, B, C in carry. Now here I have written %LB. So here whatever the variable I have written, it will print that variable value in binary format. Here it will print the variable value in the binary format. This variable value here in binary format. This variable value here in binary format. %LB means binary. So in the double quote means it will simple print. So here you can write any name. It is not going to give any compilation error. But here whatever the names you are writing, that must be a valid signal. And what is this $monitor? $monitor means it will keep monitoring these values. So any value changes, whether A, B, C, carry or sum, any value changes, this $monitor will get executed and it will print those values. If I am writing $display here, then it will just execute only once. But what I need, there will be 7 different values generated here, and here 1 value. I need 8 times it should get executed. So I will be writing $monitor. If I want to write $display, I have to write here inside the repeat block. So that $display will be repeated 7 times. Okay. So now end. So next it is end, then end model. Okay, so now I have to check whether I'm getting correct output or not. So here some values you can see 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So here some 1 carry 0 correct, 1, 1. It is also correct. So here I am manually checking the things. This is like linear test bench. Here there are 8 different values. So I can manually check the things. But there are so many values. So it is difficult for me to manually check those things. So I have two options. Either I will write a reference logic or I will write a separate module, or I can set reference module. So it is a small code, so I can write the reference logic here only. If output carry, sorry. These things you have to think by yourself. What should be the logic? It need not to be synthesizable. So you just have to think a logic that is mimicking your design. Okay, so here output carry, output sum. So again, what I'm doing, so here I am getting carry equal to 1, sum equal to 0. So I will concat them. So it will display me 1, 0. 1, 0 means 2. So I can easily add 1 plus 1 equal to 2. Okay. So if output carry, comma output sum equal to input A plus input B plus input C. Okay, so now this plus, it is the inbuilt adder operator. So it is definitely going to give me correct value. Okay. If these things is correct, then $display design is correct. So here why I am writing $display statement, because see, it is in repeat loop. Inside repeat loop, that means 7 times it is going to get executed. So I don't have to check this it will be repeated. So $display statement is okay. $display will get executed once. Repeat block is going to execute it 7 times. So $display here, it is going to execute 7 times depending on repeat. Okay. So else, if that condition is not satisfied, then $display design is wrong. So here I have written for 7 times. Now another 1 time I need for this 0, 0, 0. So here. Okay, so now you can see always it is displaying design is correct, design is correct, design is correct. So this is known as a self-checking test bench. I don't have to check anything. It is by default checking itself. So it is like a self-checking test bench. So it is always like, even if whenever you are going to work anywhere, you will be writing a scoreboard wherever you are mimicking your design things. So from starting only, you just try to write a self-checking test bench, and whatever the values you are generating here, try to use some logic. Like here, I can generate those values like this also. It is also going to give me 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1 like this, but it is going to take so much lines. For 7 different values, I need 7 lines. But here, not much line, 3 to 4 lines are required. Okay, so always try to think something like whether using minimum amount of code I can do this. Okay, so this is all about your full adder code. So guys, if you have any doubt in the comment section, you can ask the question. I'll be answering them. In the next video, I'll be posting, like I'll be doing more codes like some mocks, encoder, and most like priority, I'll be giving how you can generate here, like how you can write a test bench in an efficient manner. Okay, those things. And then I will be explaining also like some $monitor, $display, all those things, like from interview point of view, I'll be discussing those things. Thank you.